A recent article in the British Medical Journal by Aseem Malhotra challenges the prevailing theory that saturated fat is a primary factor in causing heart disease. Of course, the media seeks controversy and likes to stir things with sensational news. Unfortunately, when you read further into this story, you find that the article is quite misleading. The author is not an expert in the field, and furthermore, as commentators note underneath his article in the reviews, what you discover is that the article has not been expertly reviewed, and that a number of his claims actually misrepresent the sources that he cites. The media rarely corrects itself unless it's forced to by some kind of publicity storm or legal action, so in this case I very much doubt there will be any corrections. It used to be thought that smoking actually conferred various benefits to people's health, and when data started to be found that contradicted this message, people went into denial. In fact, denial functions to protect the ego from things the individual cannot cope with. While denial may save us from feeling anxiety, it also requires a substantial psychic effort to maintain the denial when evidence against the false belief continues to accumulate. Some people will go beyond the flat-out rejection of denial and move towards some form of faith that comforts them around their behaviours. Such is the case with the paleo diet, the Atkins diets and various other fad diets, which seek to comfort those who have been challenged by the nutritional science. Faith in smoking was finally shaken by a number of compelling studies in epidemiology. In other words, statistical associations in populations. The evidence against fatty diets goes far beyond epidemiology. Both the immediate detrimental effects of consuming fatty foods and the cumulative damage of such foods can now be seen and measured accurately using scientific equipment. In these SPECT scans, you can see the effects of a person who adopted a low-fat diet and saw their blood flow improve against a patient who adopted a high-protein, high-fat Atkins-style diet, and you'll see that their blood flow reduced and their heart efficiency was damaged. Similar studies to this by Dr. Esselstyn over long periods and involving many subjects have confirmed these kinds of results. The evidence, as experts in the field will tell you, is overwhelming. The most powerful evidence is the empirical evidence that you can see with your own eyes. Please do take the time to examine the evidence I've presented below this video. It could save your life.